Hello, YouTubers. Go ahead and like, share, and subscribe for me. In my last video, I just gave a little brief description of myasthenia gravis, which again we call it MG. So that's probably what I'm gonna say is MG. Well, in this video, I want to tell you how I first started feeling sick. At that time, I was in nursing school, and I was also working doing home health, and then also going through a divorce. So I had a lot of things going on at that time. So anyway, I'm sorry guys. I'm trying to work out a little bit too, so don't pay me no attention, just listen, because this is important. So anyway, I was becoming weak, very, very tired, going back and forth to my patient's house and back home. The driving was getting very difficult. I was losing control of my legs, my arms. I had drooping of the right eyelid, which is called ptosis, which make your one eye bigger than the other one. Me and my kids would go out to eat. I couldn't pick up the fork. I couldn't hold my cup. And to top it all, we stayed on the second floor in apartment complex, and I couldn't climb the stairs. So I kept telling my mom, I'm so tired, and I kept telling my kids I just didn't feel good. And being in nursing school and dealing with patients who suffer from a lot of autoimmune diseases, I had one patient who had MS, and I thought that's what I had because we had just studied it. We had studied on MG too, but it was like a little small paragraph, maybe 5 lines. But I had a patient who had MS, and she would lose mobility, her eyesight, blurred vision, weakness in her arms, legs. So I was having those same symptoms. So I told my daughter, let's go ahead on up to Methodist. So we went on up to Methodist. They said I had a tumor in my chest, and that they wanted to stick a needle in my chest. Again, I live in Dallas, Texas. So this is the Methodist that was on Wheatland, the hospital that no one likes. So I told my daughter, no. We got up out of there without them discharge papers. So that next day, I was going to a patient, and I think I was sweeping for her, and I feel my body about to give out. So I told that patient I had to go. So I got in my car, I kind of rested a little bit, and then after I rested, I was fine. So I'm like, maybe it was something in her house that was making me sick. I didn't get it. So I called my daughter, and I told her that I had to leave work. And after I got through talking to her, I called my mom. I said, Mom, I am coming over there ASAP because something is not right. Because as I was driving, the symptoms started coming back, and my eyes started drooping, and it's always this eye. I don't know why it's always the right eye, but for me, it's always the right eye. And she said, come on. And the patient that I had stayed in Forney, Texas, which is this little town outside of Dallas, Texas. So Mom stays in Oak Cliff, which is Dallas. So I had to drive at least 45 minutes to an hour to get to her home, past my house. So I got to her home, I was even weaker. And mind you, as I'm driving And you know how you have to shift your leg to the brake and the gas? I had to literally pick my leg up to put it in brake and to put it in gas. So, and then as I'm driving, I had to take my hand and literally use my hand on my leg to push the gas and the brake. So that was a traumatizing moment for me. So we ended up going to Parkland. Those that live in Dallas, you know, Parkland Hospital, they have the best doctors. They have the best studying. So this is my first visit at Parkland. So as they examined me and they did eye exam, my vision was 20/20. Mind you, my eye was still like this. So I still had 20/20 vision, but it was blurry. My arms was so weak. So that, you know, they do that strength test where they have you to lift your arms up, do your legs, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't lift my arms up on my legs, guys. I just could not do it. And the more they examined me, the more tired I got. So the doctor came back after all the blood work, tests, MRs, you know, CT scans, all of that. He did tell me that there was a mass on my chest. They didn't know if it was cancerous or not. But what he diagnosed me with was high thyroid. So I had a thyroid issue. So I'm like, okay, that's not too, bad. It's not as bad as I was thinking, because I'm thinking I'm supposed to be out of here. I have 2 kids. So he gave me some medicine. He said in 2 weeks you will start feeling a whole lot better. 2 weeks has passed. I'm still working. I'm still climbing these stairs with my hands and knees. Mind you, I cannot walk up the stairs because that's how tired I am. So I am literally crawling up these stairs. Me talking to you guys is really making me work on this machine. I've already done a mile in 7 minutes. Pretty good. Okay, so I told my daughter, I said, it can't be nothing about no thyroid. And then the tumor thing, maybe that's what's causing the problem. So of course I went back to the hospital. They did their little test again. Come to find out the tumor was growing. And I had just went, like I said, 2-3 weeks prior when they told me that it was my thyroid. So the lady came, they went ahead and admitted me because they wanted to run more and more tests. So I had to do one of those tests where, what is it called? I don't know what it's called. I didn't get this far in medical school. I'm sorry, because once I got sick, I stopped. I stopped work. I stopped everything. So, but they have needles. And they testing your muscles with these needles. I felt every bit of their needles. They were all over my body. So when that test came back, back up. Before that test came back, I'm already settled in my room. This was maybe a couple days before Thanksgiving in 2013. So the doctor came in, one of the student doctors, and she was like, I think I know what you got. I said, what is it? Is it MG? And she was like, how did you know? I said, because I studied. I'm a nursing student. I studied this, but there wasn't much on MG. And she said, what we're going to do is we're going to try this test. And this test consists of a lot of needles. So I was like, okay, whatever we need to do, whatever we need to do is fine. And she was like, we're going to get you out better. You're in the best place. Okay. So, mind you, before I went for my second visit, I couldn't lift my arms, feed myself. My daughters was bathing me, literally. They were cleaning me, feeding me. Lifting up a fork or a spoon was like, I have just picked up a brick. That's how your limbs, the muscles are going. It's like you're a baby. You can't do anything. Like how the babies, they try to learn to touch things and lift things, and they can't hold a bottle and stuff like that. Their mobility is not there yet. That's how it is with MG. That's the best way I can explain it. Because it's like you're starting over. So we did this test. The test came back. Guess what? I have MG. Yes, I have MG. So I said, well, will I get better? So they came, they told me that the mask is cancerous, of course. So we had to do this surgery, which is why I have this scar here. You guys see that scar? Okay. So that was the first procedure. This is your thymus. Your thymus controls your autoimmune system. So that thymus had a tumor on it that was growing rapidly. So, me in my head, I said, okay, we do this. I'm going to be all fine. Be back at work. I am a pusher. This wasn't going to get me down. I'm sorry. It wasn't going to get me down. It was hard, definitely. Because, like I said, I was going through a divorce, everyday living was hard, because it was just me. I had 2 daughters. I think my oldest daughter, she was probably 18, but she was in the process of getting married, so she was leaving to go to North Carolina. So I would have had my other daughter was in the 6th grade, so she was probably maybe 12, I guess. So I had bills to pay, guys. I had bills to pay, just like everyone else. So it was hard. So I finally had the surgery 2 days before Thanksgiving. So at that moment, of course, I was cancer-free. I didn't have to do any radiation. Of course, they wanted me to, but my mom had that radiation and chemo stuff, and she bled all the time. And I just didn't want any more symptoms. I wanted to get rid of what I had going on. I didn't want any, they can treat you for one thing, and then what they have treated you for, whatever they use to treat you for, go and call something else. So I didn't want that. So they put me on my Mestynine. Then Mestynine was 60 milligrams 3 times a day, which is my MG medicine now, which I will be on for the rest of my life. And they put me on 45 milligrams of prednisone, which is steroids. So back then, I didn't know what this medication was going to do to me. Not the Mestynine, but the steroids, which blew me up, because I was like maybe 150, 160, and it was like whatever I need to do at that time, because I had a family to support. So being on steroids, I didn't care, people. I don't care. Give me what you got. Give me what I need. So they told me I can't go back to work until after 4 weeks, because when you have this type of surgery, they are breaking your breast bone. So if you know anyone who have had heart surgery, I go out to you, because that is pretty much what that is. Because the thymus is under all of this your thoracic cavity. It's behind all of this, so they had to break all this open. So I couldn't turn or anything like that. I couldn't lift anything over 4 pounds. So I stayed in the hospital until the day after Thanksgiving. My kids didn't have a Thanksgiving, guys. They didn't have. I thank God for my family. They brought them plates and stuff like that over. Brought food to the house. I thank God for them. Whew, guys, I'm feeling it. So after that, I was picked up from the hospital. Of course, it took a minute for the medications to start working, but once they took that thymus out, I was truly able to lift my arms. My eyes have always been this big. So my eyes were open. I was able to walk. I felt like me. Again. But I had to get back out there and get to work. My brother paid my rent for 3 months. I have my other brother, he helped me pay my car off because I had a car note. But I only owed like I want to say about $1,500. So he paid that off. So I did that man, that took a lot off my shoulders. So I had, phone bill, electric, stuff like that. But I worked it out. Because let me tell you, I didn't wait 4 weeks to go back to work. I had a daughter that needed to go to school. Mind you, we were still on the 2nd floor. I had a daughter who was preparing for a wedding. I had a lot of things to do. I went into survival mode. And I did what I had to do as a queen, as a mom, as a provider. Even though God is all of that, he gives us the strength to get through. And that's what he did for me. He gave me the strength to get through. And this was out in 2013, guys. We started, I went back to work doing home health, but I wasn't like sweeping, so I wasn't really just using my arms a lot. I was popping them Methadone pills like they were Tic Tacs. Them things give you the energy you need, but I also know that when I rest, like I was telling you guys in the beginning, when you rest, your muscles regroup some kind of way. I can't explain it. I'm not a doctor. I'm just telling you what I went through. So yeah, after I had that surgery, came home. My kids, after I was able to lift my arms, but my legs were still a little weak because they was so bedbound for so long. So they would put me in a tub, they would clean me, they would wash me. Thank God for them. They just don't know how much that helped me. And I thank God for him. I thank God for himself. I can't thank him enough, but that was the worst time finding out, just trying to find out what's going on with me. Is this the end? I don't even think I was 40, because I'm 46 now. But anyway, I took my medicine. I popped the pills. I went on by my day. I went to work. I think I went to work maybe 4 weeks, and I was driving like this, y'all, because I wasn't supposed to turn this area. It still had that tape and stuff on it, and it was still healing. But I had to get up. But I drove that little HHR like never before. So finally got my divorce, going through all that. Of course, I'm studying gaining weight. Went to my 6-week checkup. Everything was fine. They say, you've been doing great. Now you can go back to work. Not knowing I done already went back to work. They weren't about to pay my bills, okay? They were sending bills. That's what they was doing. So, not having work, I didn't even have insurance to pay for these procedures. For my medication. One of my medications are like $400. Then I ended up, the steroids is the cheapest medicine. Because I think it's like maybe 10 or 12, so that wasn't a big problem. But yeah, I just wanted to come and give you guys how did I find myself in this situation and what treatment they did on me to help me. So the doctors are still they learning like I'm learning. So because this is something that's new. But share this video, guys. You may have someone who have these same symptoms and not knowing what's going on with them. Yeah, spread the word. Let's teach each other. Let's stay positive. We may have MG, but MG do not have us.